Go ahead and fire away. I don't have anything for you.
All right, we'll see you.
Questions?
Andy, when you first started here, you talked about one reason coming to Kansas City was the winning culture and tradition, and that was kind of started, rekindled, born after a big string with Marty Schottenheimer came in 1989. Can you talk a little bit about kind of your dealings with Marty, your dealings with Missouri?
Yeah, no, I do. I have a lot of respect for Marty and what he did in the National Football League. Won a lot of games with a couple different organizations, and he was just a heck of a guy. He not only was a player, but then he touched the league as a coach, and helped make the game better.
Coach, looking back at the Super Bowl just 2 weeks ago, were there any moments of doubt creeping into your own mind? What was your mindset at halftime, being down 10? Patrick's kind of limping around. What was your mindset? Were there any moments of doubt?
No, there wasn't. 10 points isn't a lot, when you've got a good offense and Pat Mahomes. So I wasn't too worried about that. I just want to make sure we were off a tick, so I was just making sure we get back on the same page and with the guys and the coaches and on both sides of the ball. We were able to do that. We got a couple stops on defense and a couple scores on offense. Yeah, I think both of them, Skyy and K.T. will probably have bigger roles, as they come in. They'll be more familiar with the offense mainly, and so you can utilize them in different ways. Both of them are very talented. Really like their attitude towards the game, and we'll just see. We'll see how that goes once we get to camp and the OTAs. I think it's great for Kansas City. I think it's great for the National Football League. Brett Veach doesn't have to go too far. It's all right there. So, but listen, I'm mainly happy for the city and for the NFL for bringing it there. Great city.
What do you make of it now that you've played the Bengals extensively in the last couple of years? What do you make of that type of and that kind of matchup as you guys get more familiarity in the regular season?
Yeah, so the Bengals are a really good football team, and it's because of that, two good football teams playing each other. It's developed this rivalry, if you want to call it that. So the way I look at it, it's a well-coached football team, and they've got good players, and so it's a great challenge, and that's why we're in this. That's why we're in this business. So a lot of fun. Those games are a lot of fun. Great competition. Yeah, well, I think his future is great. I think he's a great kid. I had a chance to spend a little time with him at the 101, and so in Kansas City there, where he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. So but very sharp, and he had a phenomenal Super Bowl. And that's about as much pressure as you're going to have. And he came out and threw, for a ton of yards and ran for a ton. So I think Philadelphia's in good hands right there.
Obviously taking a new job with Washington. Your general thoughts on him leading the organization and the elevation and promotion of Matt Nagy to the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, so I'm so happy for EB to have a chance to put his name on an offense, and this is his now. He's working for Ron Rivera, who's a dear friend, and more of a defensive head coach than offensive head coach. So this allows EB to do his thing, and I'm happy for him. I wish, and I'm wishing him luck with that. I'm also wishing him luck going forward. Obviously we're trying to get him to become a head coach. It didn't work out that way, but that's not, it's not over yet. So I think he's going to do a heck of a job here and really be able to show his personality within the offense.
Andy, with the Super Bowl being kind of as late as it is now, what have you done since then?
Yeah, I've worked on staff things. Herbie mentioned Matt Nagy, and so there's a process you have to go through and talk to people and interview people, and so that's what I did. And between Pep Hamilton, who was phenomenal, Marcus Brady, phenomenal, and then our own guy Matt Nagy that was here. Phenomenal interviews, and just talking football is incredible. I mean, I got to do this for a good week, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And it just tells me that the league's in good hands. We got some good coaches out there, and I'm excited about that. Yeah.
So as Matt Nagy is concerned, he was the quarterback coach, but now he's offensive coordinator. Is he retaining the title of quarterback coach, or is David Girardi going to be in that promotion?
Yeah, so Dave would be, I'll end up announcing that here. Well, I guess I'm doing it right here, Herbie. So, yeah, David will work into that. Again, I went through an interview process there. So it's Bush Hampton from Boise State was one of the guys I talked to. Again, he's at the college level. He had been with the Falcons at the college level, but, college football is in good hands with him. So Boise State, I'm happy for them. But but he's the natural fit in there, and that's what he'll be doing. Yeah.
Coach, have you had the chance to talk to Patrick since he made his decision and the promotion today?
Yeah, no, I have. We're all very happy for him. I mean, I was that press conference was unbelievable, and so here he is in the state capital or in the country's capital, and I can't tell you how heck it could end up being president.
When you have a quarterback who's at a high level, what's the biggest challenge that coaches have to make sure that you sustain and help him through when you've got some of these problems?
Sure. Well, you're always going to try to bring things to the table that are new for him, and so he can continue to grow. He wants to grow, which is the most important thing. He wants to be the best, which is important, and he's going to work his tail off. He's already started, so I mean but that's how he's wired. And so as coaches, you're going, hey, let's gather up some good stuff for him so we can add to the repertoire of plays that he already has. Frank Clark. Yeah, so I actually talked to him at the parade, so that's where I ended up talking to him. He had to do some stuff for the actual exit physical, but I had a good talk with him. I love Frank Clark. It's just, Veach has got to juggle all these different things going on, and Frank is he's top notch guy. I love him to death. Yeah, well, it depends on who you're giving the ball to. That helps. I mean, I think it's a good scheme part of things. If you're talking that schematically, you put these defensive ends in a little bit of a bind. But other than that, I mean, we could talk, Jess. You want to go? We can go somewhere and talk, Jess.
Couple more, guys.
What are your thoughts on this rookie class? You just had so many contributors, and now obviously they've been through the second year. You guys have a lot of picks this year. Does that give you more flexibility than maybe normal with all these young kids on rookie deals coming back to you?
Well, I tell you, yes. I mean, anytime you have the young guys, all these young guys that have made it, it does give you some flexibility. You've already you've signed your quarterback to a contract there, so that helps too. So you kind of know where the money is and what you can do with it. But Brett's down here, and with his crew, looking at more new guys. And so we want to take those picks and add to it. I'm sure he's going to talk to you after I do here, so you can ask him. But the job that he did with with his guys, I mean, second to none. I would say. Well, yeah. I mean, you know this, but it's a long road to get there. A lot of things can happen, so I'm not very good at predicting the future. But all the coaches that are talking here are making that their goal to get there, and so that's we're no different than that. We're making that our goal, and as the Eagles are, and Howie's done a great job of bringing that influx of new players to them, and Nick's done a good job coaching them, so they've got a good football team for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, you got to ask one that needs one. I would tell you, you're always a lot of people get caught up on the arm strength. That's one thing, but that's not necessarily the most important thing. It's how the player handles the game, from the feet to the head, and you've got to also be a leader on top of all that. So, a little bit in a nutshell there, but that's those are kind of the primary things. Yeah, it's your first opportunity to visit with these guys, which I think is good. People say, well, the answers are canned. Well, they're not. It depends on what you're asking them. There's, and how you maneuver around that and present to them. But you get a little taste of what they're about. It's the first, for the coaches, it's the first opportunity to meet with them. And then it goes from there, whether it's the 30 visits, watching more tape, all that, that's kind of what this is good for. Good seeing you.
All right, thank you.
We good? All right.